reflections, and arrangements. The email sat in Olivia Palmer's inbox like a ticking bomb. 3 weeks had passed since she'd received her cousin Naomi's wedding invitation, addressed to Olivia Palmer and guest. That innocent and guest line felt like a cruel joke. Olivia stared at her laptop screen, cursor hovering over a website she couldn't believe she was considering. Companion for hire, social events, family gatherings, corporate functions. She was 32, a successful architectural designer with her own firm, and yet here she was, contemplating hiring a stranger to pose as her boyfriend at Naomi's wedding. It wasn't just about showing up alone. It was about the inevitable questions. From relatives who'd watched her 6-year relationship with Daniel crumble last year when he decided their life trajectories weren't aligned, corporate speak for, "I don't want to marry you." Now he was dating a 25-year-old yoga instructor, and Olivia would rather walk through fire than face her family's pitying looks again. With a deep breath, she clicked on a profile that seemed promising. Logan Reed, 34. His bio was straightforward. Event companion with 5 years of experience, professional boundaries, and discreet service. Unlike others with model-perfect photos, his picture looked natural. Warm brown eyes, an easy smile, and dark hair with a slight wave. His reviews praised his conversational skills and ability to adapt to any social situation. Before she could reconsider, Olivia sent an inquiry. 3 days later, she sat across from Logan in a quiet coffee shop, gripping her latte like a lifeline. "So," Logan said, his voice carrying a slight rasp that hadn't come through in their brief phone call. 3 days at your cousin's wedding, in the Berkshires. You need someone who can convince your family we've been dating for 5 months. Olivia nodded, studying him. He was dressed simply in a navy button-down and dark jeans, nothing flashy. You understand this is strictly professional? I just need to avoid the singles table and the constant setups from my aunts. Logan's smile revealed a slight dimple in his right cheek. I understand completely. I have a strict no-drama policy. We can be as affectionate as you're comfortable with, but I never cross boundaries. Good. Olivia pulled out a notebook. I've prepared some details about our relationship. We met at a charity auction for historical preservation. That aligns with my work and explains why we might have connected. Logan raised an eyebrow, looking amused. You've put thought into this. I'm detail-oriented, she replied defensively. My family will ask questions. I appreciate thoroughness. He leaned forward. Tell me about yourself beyond the basics. What makes you laugh? What annoys you? If we're supposed to be dating, I should know these things. The question caught her off guard. Most of her preparation had been about logistics, not personal details. I laugh at dry humor. I get annoyed by people who don't respect others' time. I drink too much coffee and work too many hours. And what should I know about your family? Who should I charm? Who should I avoid? Olivia found herself relaxing slightly. My mother will interrogate you. My father will offer you whiskey and talk about baseball. My cousin Naomi, the bride, is my closest friend, so she'll be watching carefully. Their conversation flowed more easily than Olivia had expected. Logan asked thoughtful questions, jotting occasional notes. When they practiced holding hands across the table, she tried to ignore the unexpected warmth that spread through her fingers. One last thing, Logan said as they prepared to leave. Why me? There were other profiles with better photos. More qualifications. Olivia considered the question. The others seemed like they were selling an image. You seemed authentic. Something flickered in Logan's eyes before he smiled. Ironic, considering I'm being hired to pretend. Yes, well, Olivia gathered her things. Sometimes the most convincing performances have elements of truth. As she walked away, Olivia wondered what she'd gotten herself into. For someone hired to play a part, Logan Reed seemed dangerously real. and the wedding was still 2 weeks away. The performance begins. The sprawling estate that housed Naomi's wedding venue appeared through the car window as Logan navigated the winding country road. Olivia's fingers fidgeted with the hem of her dress as the imposing Victorian mansion came into view, surrounded by manicured gardens and strung with twinkling lights. "Impressive place," Logan remarked, slowing the car. "You didn't mention your family had such extravagant taste?" "It's not my family's place," Olivia clarified. "Naomi's fiancé Jonathan comes from old money, very old money." She straightened her sunglasses, checking her reflection. "Remember, we've been together for 5 months, but it's serious enough that bringing you wasn't casual." Logan parked the car and turned to her, his expression softening. "Olivia, breathe. We've rehearsed this. I know your favorite books, your coffee order, how you like to spend Sunday mornings. I know you're allergic to shellfish and hate cilantro." He squeezed her hand gently. "I've got this. We've got this." His confidence steadied her. When he opened her car door and offered his hand, Olivia stepped out with renewed composure. The weight of his palm against the small of her back felt oddly right as they approached the entrance. "Livy!" A squeal cut through the air as Naomi rushed down the steps, resplendent in a flowing sundress, her auburn hair cascading in waves. "You made it!" She embraced Olivia before stepping back, eyes gleaming, with curiosity as she assessed Logan. "This must be the mysterious boyfriend. I was beginning to think you'd invented him." Naomi's smile was warm, but evaluating. "Logan Reed," he introduced himself, extending his hand before surprising both women by leaning in to kiss Naomi's cheek. "Congratulations on your wedding. Olivia speaks so highly of you. I feel like I already know you." Naomi's expression shifted from assessment to approval. "Well, aren't you charming? Come in, both of you. The welcome dinner starts in an hour." As they followed Naomi inside, Olivia whispered, "Nice touch with the kiss." Establishing familiarity, Logan murmured back, "Makes it seem like I'm comfortable enough with your family to do that." Their room, a spacious suite with a 4-poster bed and sitting area, presented the first awkward moment. "I can take the sofa," Logan offered immediately, setting down their bags. "Don't be ridiculous," Olivia said, more briskly than intended. "The bed is king-sized. We're adults. We can share without it being weird." Logan's expression remained neutral. "Whatever you're comfortable with." The welcome dinner proved to be the first real test. Seated at a long table on the terrace overlooking the gardens, Olivia found herself surrounded by family members she hadn't seen in years. Her mother, Eleanor, wasted no time. "So, Logan, what exactly do you do?" The question carried the weight of a job interview. Logan smiled easily, his hand finding Olivia's on the table. "I work in event management and hospitality consulting. I help venues and hotels optimize their guest experiences." The partial truth rolled off his tongue convincingly. "And how did you two meet again?" This from Aunt Patricia, whose sharp eyes missed nothing. "Historical preservation auction," Olivia answered quickly. "Logan was consulting for the venue. She outbid me for a restoration project of the Old North Church," Logan added, the improvisation surprising Olivia. "I couldn't decide whether to be impressed or annoyed, so I asked her to coffee to debate architectural integrity versus modern safety codes." Olivia stared at him, momentarily speechless. They had rehearsed a basic meeting story, but he'd embellished it with details that perfectly aligned with her passions. "That sounds exactly like Livy," Naomi laughed, "always fighting for historical accuracy." Throughout dinner, Logan charmed her family with effortless grace. He discussed baseball statistics with her father, complimented her mother's charity, work, and even managed to engage her teenage nephew who rarely looked up from his phone. Each time Olivia tensed at a probing question, Logan's hand would find hers under the table, a gentle reminder that she wasn't facing this alone. Later, as the evening wound down, Daniel, her ex-boyfriend and Naomi's cousin on her fiancé's side, approached their table. Olivia froze mid-sentence. Olivia, Daniel nodded, his girlfriend conspicuously absent. You look well, Daniel, she acknowledged, feeling Logan's attention sharpen beside her. Congratulations on the partnership at your firm. Naomi mentioned it. An awkward silence followed before Logan stood, extending his hand. Logan Reed, I've heard a lot about you. His tone remained pleasant, but Olivia noticed how he positioned himself slightly in front of her, protective without being obvious. Daniel's handshake seemed reluctant. Funny, I haven't heard anything about you. We've been keeping things private, Logan replied smoothly. When something matters, you protect it. He turned to Olivia, his expression softening. Dance with me? They're playing that song you love. As Logan led her to the small dance floor, Olivia whispered, There's no song I love playing right now. I know, he murmured, drawing her close. But your ex is watching, and you looked like you needed rescuing. Under the string lights, with Logan's arms around her waist, Olivia realized with startling clarity that this performance felt dangerously convincing, even to her. Blurring lines. The second day of wedding festivities brought a champagne brunch followed by outdoor activities around the estate. Olivia found herself genuinely laughing as Logan attempted archery, his exaggerated dismay when his arrow went wide, making even her usually stoic father chuckle. I didn't realize your services included making a fool of yourself, she teased as they walked toward the lake for the afternoon boat rides. Making you laugh is part of the package, Logan replied, picking a leaf from her hair with casual intimacy. Besides, I've never claimed to be a marksman. Something had shifted between them since last night. The performance no longer felt calculated. Their touches lingered, their smiles came easier. Olivia caught herself searching for Logan in rooms, feeling oddly bereft when he was engaged in conversation elsewhere. During the boat ride, they sat at the stern, away from others. The late summer sun dappled the water as Naomi's father steered them around the lake. You're different today, Logan observed quietly. Different how? More relaxed, less like you're reading from a script. His eyes met hers. It suits you. Olivia looked away, uncomfortable with his perception. I'm just getting better at pretending. Are you? His question hung between them, unanswered. Later, while the bridal party attended a special luncheon, Logan and Olivia explored the estate grounds. They discovered an old greenhouse, its glass panels clouded with age but still housing thriving plants. It's beautiful, Olivia murmured, running her fingers along an ancient wooden workbench. All this history, just sitting here quietly while life goes on around it. Logan watched her, leaning against the doorframe. Is that why you became an architectural designer? To preserve history? Partly. She touched a delicate fern. I like things that endure, buildings that have witnessed, generations coming and going still standing despite everything. Unlike relationships, Logan ventured. Olivia stiffened. We're not discussing my personal history. I'm not asking about Daniel, Logan clarified. I'm asking about you, the real you, not the woman who hired me to pretend. The greenhouse suddenly felt too intimate, too confining. There's nothing to discuss. I'm focused on my career. Relationships are secondary. Is that why we're here? Because relationships are secondary, or because they matter so much you can't bear people thinking you failed at one? His perception cut too close to the bone. You're overstepping, Olivia warned. Maybe. Logan stepped closer. Or maybe I'm just doing my job thoroughly. Understanding your motivations helps me be more convincing. A tense silence stretched between them before Olivia sighed. After Daniel left, everyone looked at me like I was incomplete without a partner, like my achievements meant nothing without someone to share them with. I'm here because I'm tired of defending my choices, my priorities. Logan nodded slowly. Thank you for telling me the truth. That evening's rehearsal dinner brought unexpected vulnerability. After several glasses of wine, surrounded by toasts celebrating love and commitment, Olivia found herself sharing things with Logan she hadn't intended. Her childhood dreams, her professional frustrations, the novel she'd started writing but never finished. Why didn't you continue it? Logan asked as they sat slightly apart from the others, the dinner winding down. Life got in the way. Practicality. Architecture was a safer bet than becoming a struggling writer. You could still write, he suggested. You don't have to choose. Says the man who plays pretend for a living, she countered, immediately regretting her sharpness. To her surprise, Logan didn't seem offended. We all play roles, Olivia. I'm just honest about mine. He hesitated. Before this, I was a psychology professor. Published, tenured, respected. What happened? My wife died. The words were simple, devastating. Cancer. After that, academia felt meaningless. I needed something different, something that didn't remind me of our shared life. Olivia stared at him, recalibrating everything she thought she knew. I'm so sorry. I had no idea. It's not in my professional bio, he said with a sad smile. But sometimes, like now, the truth slips out. Being someone else for a weekend, it helps me remember who I am the rest of the time. His confession changed something fundamental between them. When they returned to their room that night, the silence held new weight. As they prepared for bed, moving around each other in the unfamiliar space, Olivia found herself hyper-aware of his presence. Under the covers, lying inches apart in darkness, she whispered, "Thank you for telling me about your wife." Logan's voice came softly through the darkness. "Thank you for seeing me as someone worth telling." Olivia lay awake long after Logan's breathing had deepened into sleep, wondering which was the greater pretense, their relationship or her insistence that she felt nothing real for him. Confrontations and confessions. The wedding day dawned with golden light streaming through their suite windows. Olivia woke to find Logan already up, sitting in the window seat with a cup of coffee, watching the groundskeepers make final preparations in the garden below. "Morning," he said, offering her a second cup he'd prepared. "Big day ahead." Something intimate lingered in the gesture. He'd remembered exactly how she took her coffee without being asked. "Thank you." She accepted the cup, their fingers brushing. "I should get ready. The ceremony is at 3, but Naomi asked me to help her dress at noon." "Go be a good cousin," Logan smiled. "I'll see you at the ceremony." Hours later, after helping Naomi into her gown and calming her pre-wedding jitters, Olivia slipped into her own bridesmaid's dress, a flowing sage-green silk that complemented her dark hair. When she emerged from the bridal suite to join the other attendants, she spotted Logan in the hallway adjusting his tie. He looked up, his expression shifting to something she couldn't quite define. "Olivia," he breathed, taking her in. "You look extraordinary." For once, she allowed herself to simply accept the compliment. "You clean up pretty well yourself." The ceremony unfolded beneath an arbor laden with wildflowers. Standing among the bridesmaids, Olivia found her gaze drifting repeatedly to Logan in the audience. When Naomi and Jonathan exchanged vows, the raw emotion in their promises made her throat tighten unexpectedly. At the reception, Logan proved to be an attentive date, bringing her drinks, making sure she ate despite her bridesmaid duties, dancing with her when protocol allowed. During the traditional bouquet toss, when Olivia awkwardly caught the flowers to cheers and knowing looks, Logan's gentle smile across the room steadied her embarrassment. "Looks like you're next," Daniel commented, appearing beside her as she set the bouquet aside. His eyes held the glassy sheen of too much champagne. Though I'm surprised, you always said marriage wasn't a priority. People evolve, Olivia replied carefully, searching the crowd for Logan. Do they? Daniel moved closer. Because the Olivia I knew was married to her career, couldn't imagine making room for family, for children. The Olivia you knew also trusted you when you said you understood her priorities, she countered, feeling old anger resurface. Until you decided they weren't compatible with yours. I made a mistake, he admitted, surprising her. Seeing you here with him, it makes me wonder if I gave up too easily. Olivia stared at him, recognizing the words she'd once longed to hear. Daniel, you're drunk and engaged to someone else. We broke up last month, he revealed. She wanted the same things you did. Career first, family maybe someday. Funny how I thought that would be different with her. Before Olivia could respond, she felt a presence behind her. Logan stood there, expression carefully neutral. Everything all right here? Daniel straightened. Just catching up with an old friend. I see. Logan's tone revealed nothing. Olivia, your cousin is looking for you. Something about photos with the bridesmaids. Grateful for the interruption, Olivia excused herself. As she walked away, she glanced back to see Logan and Daniel in what appeared to be an intense conversation, though she couldn't hear the words exchanged. Later, as the reception reached its peak, Olivia found herself alone on the terrace, needing a moment away from the noise and revelry. The encounter with Daniel had unsettled her more than she wanted to admit. May I join you? Logan's voice came from behind her. She nodded, making room on the stone bench. What did you say to Daniel after I left? Logan was quiet for a moment. I told him that sometimes people don't realize what they have until someone else recognizes its value. That's all? No. Logan looked up at the stars. I also told him that if he truly cared about you, he'd respect that you've moved on, whether or not that includes him. Olivia studied his profile in the moonlight. Have I moved on? That's not for me to say. His voice held careful distance. What if... She hesitated, heart racing. What if moving on looks different than I expected? What if it's happening right now with someone I never anticipated? Logan turned to her, eyes searching hers. Olivia, I need to be clear. What we're doing here. I know what we're doing, she interrupted. What I don't know is what happens when we stop pretending. The moment stretched between them, charged with possibility. Inside, the music swelled as the band began a slow song. Without speaking, Logan stood and offered his hand. She took it, allowing him to lead her back to the dance floor, where their bodies found each other with familiar ease. This isn't in our contract, she whispered against his shoulder. No, he agreed, his arms tightening around her. It isn't. They danced long after the song ended, neither willing to break the spell of whatever truth was emerging between them. Beyond the contract, Sunday morning brought a strange melancholy to the estate. Guests packed their belongings, exchanged contact information, and gradually departed, leaving the grand house increasingly quiet. Olivia moved through the farewell, brunch in a daze, mechanically hugging relatives and promising to call more often. Logan packed their suitcases with methodical precision, while Olivia said her final goodbyes to Naomi. When she returned to their room, he was standing by the window, looking out at the grounds. Ready to go? He asked, turning to her. Yes. The word felt inadequate for the tangle of emotions beneath it. The drive back to the city passed in contemplative silence. Occasionally, their eyes would meet, questions hovering unspoken between them. When Logan pulled up outside Olivia's apartment, building? The finality of the moment struck her with unexpected force. So, she said as he helped unload her suitcase, I suppose this concludes our arrangement? Logan nodded, hands sliding into his pockets. You'll find the final invoice in your email tomorrow. Right. Of course. Olivia fumbled in her purse for her keys, desperate for something to do with her hands. Thank you for everything. You were convincing. Is that what I was? There was an edge to his question. Olivia looked up, finally meeting his gaze directly. What do you want me to say, Logan? That somewhere between fake smiles and rehearsed stories, something real happened? That I forgot we had an expiration date? Did you? His voice softened. Forget? Maybe. She closed her eyes briefly. Yes. Logan took a step closer. When I told you about my wife, about my former life, that wasn't part of the character I was playing. I know. She'd known it then, felt the truth of his vulnerability. And when I danced with you at the reception, when I brought you coffee, this morning exactly how you like it, that wasn't acting either. His hand reached for hers, hesitant. I've spent 2 years helping people create illusions, Olivia. I've gotten very good at knowing the difference between performance and reality. Olivia's throat tightened. This is complicated. You're essentially my employee. Not anymore. Logan gestured to her building. Once you walk through that door, our contract is complete. What happens after that has nothing to do with what I was hired to do. She studied him, this man who had slipped so seamlessly into her life, who had seen her at her most vulnerable and still looked at her with warmth rather than judgment. What are you suggesting? I'm suggesting dinner, he said simply. No audience, no backstory, no pretending. Just Logan and Olivia seeing if what we felt was real or just a convenient fiction. And if it was real? The question came out barely above a whisper. Then we start writing our own story, without scripts or rehearsals. Logan's smile held tentative hope. Beginning with me asking if you'd like to have dinner with me next Friday. Olivia felt something loosen in her chest. The rigid control she'd maintained for so long giving way to possibility. I'd like that, but I have one condition. Name it. No more pretending. Not with each other, not with ourselves. She stepped closer, brave in a way she hadn't been in years. Whatever this is or becomes, it has to be honest. Logan's hand found her cheek, his touch achingly gentle. I think I can manage that. Standing on the sidewalk outside her building, with the contract that brought them together now fulfilled, Olivia made a choice. She leaned forward and kissed him, not for show, not for anyone watching, but for herself and for him and for whatever truth they might discover together. When she pulled back, Logan's smile held wonder and certainty in equal measure. So, Friday, at 7? Olivia nodded, feeling lighter than she had in years. Friday at 7. No script needed. As she watched him drive away, Olivia realized that sometimes the most authentic connections emerge from the most unlikely beginnings. That hearts have their own wisdom, finding truth even in the midst of carefully constructed deceptions. She had hired Logan to fool her family, but in the end, the only illusion that mattered was the one they had both been maintaining, that what grew between them was anything less than real.